why does this increase in returns, decrease in returns and negative returns takes place? We can say that no, we are using more and more amount of labor, so our production should increase. Why not? So why is this happening? Okay, why is not my production increasing all throughout the phase, all throughout the short run? Because first, in case of increasing returns to factor, when my total product is increasing at an increasing rate and my marginal product is also positive, it is increasing. At this time, the amount of labor or the amount of variable factor that I am using with the fixed factor land is very small. The amount of labor, see, it will be 1 unit, 2 units of labor. Okay, we saw it was only 1 and 2 units of labor. So the amount of variable factor or the amount of labor that I am using with the fixed factor is very, very small. So when I am combining it with the fixed factor, the productivity of the labor is very high. The productivity of the labor is very high. So that is why it brings about increasing returns. My total product increases at an increasing rate. However, in phase 2, when the diminishing returns phase, when my total product is increasing at an increasing rate, what is happening? What is happening? That we are using more and more units of labor. That is 3 units of labor, 4 units of labor, 5 units of labor. As we are using more and more units of labor, it is giving pressure on the land, which is a fixed factor. I am using more units of labor, but my land is not increasing. My land is fixed to that unit only because it is a fixed factor. So as I am increasing the units of labor, it is creating pressure on the land. As it is creating pressure on the land, the productivity of the labor starts falling down. Okay, the productivity of the labor starts falling down. And this happens after a certain amount of output. So the productivity of this labor starts falling down. Okay. Now, when this second phase ends, what did we see? In the second phase, as we were deducting the values of the total product, we were seeing that the total product was decreasing. The second phase ends, or you can say this diminishing returns phase ends when the total product becomes 0. When it is 0, see, when it is 52, when I am deducting 52 minus 52, it is 0. So at this 52 level, that is at the 5th unit of labor, my second phase stops. When my total product is maximum and it is 0. When my total product is maximum at 52 and the productivity of the extra unit of labor is that is 0. Okay. Now, in the third phase, which is the negative return phase, what happens in this negative return? So in the third phase, my variable factor becomes too large. I am using 6 unit of labor. So my variable factor is becoming too large in terms of the 1 unit of land. So then this 6 unit of labor gives me negative returns. Okay. As in the diminishing phase 2 part, my at the 5th unit of labor, the value was fixed to 52 and it was giving me 0 returns. As I am using the 6th unit of labor, my amount of labor is more in terms of fixed unit and thus it is giving me negative returns. Okay. Now we will move to the phase of operation. Now in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 we did. Now in which phase will the producer operate? A producer will operate in which phase? A producer will not operate in phase 1 because in phase 1 it is utilizing its variable factor with the fixed factor. So it has got the production capacity that it can produce more by using more of variable factor. So if it stops production in phase 1, that means the variable factor will not be fully utilized. The resources will be inefficiently utilized if it stops production in the phase 1. So to optimally utilize and efficiently utilize the fixed factors, to optimally and efficiently utilize the variable factors as well as the fixed factor of production, it goes on producing. it goes on producing, because in phase 1 it has just started using the variable factor with the fixed factor. So it has got the productive capacity to produce more. The labor has got the productive capacity to produce more. The producer can also produce more. So it goes on producing. So now, while continuing producing, it enters into phase 2. So now, in the second phase, my total product is maximum and my marginal product is still positive. Okay, in the first phase, total product was also increasing and positive, and marginal product was increasing and positive. But as the producer can produce more, the labor productivity can be enhanced. So the producer knows it can produce more, so it goes on producing and enters the phase 2. In phase 2, the total product is maximum at 52 and MP, marginal product, is also positive. So the producer will operate in phase 2. Now it will not operate in phase 3. Why? In phase 3, obviously total product is falling down and marginal product is negative. So when productivity of labor is negative and it is falling down, no producer will operate there. Okay, because it is a loss for him. So producer will operate in phase 2 when total product is also maximum and marginal product is positive. Okay. Now we will move to the reasons for the law of variable proportions.